Hello students, welcome to online class. In today's class, we'll discuss regarding evolution of auditing. Evolution is nothing but origin, or you can say it as a history of auditing. That is, in today's class, we'll understand how this auditing came into an existence. Okay, see, to facilitate the examinations of the historical development of auditing, this evolution or history will be divided into 5 periods. That is, we can understand this history of auditing by dividing it into 5 periods. Okay. So, first period is prior to 1840. See, generally, the early historical development of auditing is not well documented. It was not well recorded. Okay, auditing in the form of ancient checking activities was found in the ancient civilizations of China, Egypt, and Greece. The ancient checking activities found in Greece, okay, which was appear to be closest to the present day auditing. Similar kind of checking activities were also found in the ancient of England as well as in India. During this period, that is during prior to 1840, okay, auditing was restricted to performing detailed verification of every transaction. That is, auditing was restricted to verify every transaction of the business. Okay, the concept of testing or sampling was not a part of the auditing procedure. So this is because industries during this period were mainly concerned with cottages and small mills, which were individually owned and managed. So therefore, there was no need for the business managers to report to owners. Okay, on their management of resources, as it was very small business, small scale industries, it was owned by the individual, so there was no necessary of reporting it to the owners by the managers, and as a result there is a little use of what auditing. Okay, next period comes is 1840 to 1920. In this period, the duties of auditors were influenced by the decision of court. That is, under Companies Act 1862, in 1900, statutory audit was mandatory. Okay, so in this period, duties of auditors were influenced by the decision of court. The audit objective was mainly to detect fraud and errors. It can be concluded that the role of auditors during this period, that is between 1840 to 1920, was mainly on fraud detection and the proper portrayal of the company's solvency in the balance sheet. Okay, that is, auditors or owners used to concentrate to identify the fraud, the detection of the fraud and prevention of that fraud. Okay, and they used to concentrate on company's solvency or either insolvency in the balance sheet. Okay, next period comes is 1920 to 1960. So the concept of materiality and sampling techniques were used in auditing during this period. That is, it was not necessary to make a detailed examination of every entry. Okay, footing and posting during the period in order to get the substance of the value which resulted from an audit. In short, okay, we'll understand in simple words. The socio-economic condition in this period had highly influenced the development of auditing. Okay, next comes is the period that is from 1960 to 1990. I guess I have missed one period. No, sorry. We'll continue with the 1960 to 1990. This period marked an important development in technological advancement. See, in earlier periods, that is prior to 1840, 1840 to 1920, and 1920 to 1960, it was manually, means accounts used to be recorded manually and auditing used to be done manually. But in 1960 to 1990, technological advancement has took place, and the size and complexity of the company is also advanced. Okay, so the duties of auditors were to affirm the truthfulness of financial statement. As the technological advancement was introduced, there was high chances of fraud, right? So auditors were affirm the truthfulness of the financial statements and to ensure that financial statements were fairly presented. So, in the earlier part of this period, a change in audit approach can be observed from verifying transaction in the books to relying on the system. Such a change was due to the increase in the number of transactions, which was resulted from the continued growth in the size and complexity of the companies, where it is unlike for auditors to play the role of verifying transactions. So, as a result, okay, auditors in this period had placed much higher reliance on companies' internal control in their audit procedure. See, as there was a continuous growth in the size and complexity of the companies, and as there was increase in the number of transactions, okay, auditors' duty has increased. Okay, so that they can verify whether the financial statements are fairly presented or not. Along with that, they have to identify companies' internal control in their audit procedures. In addition to this, auditing of financial statement, auditors at the same time were providing advisory services to the audit clients. So along with the verifying financial statements, whether they have fairly presented or not, and along with that, to check company's internal control, okay, auditors used to provide what advisory services to the audit clients, so that they can prepare their accounts or the financial statements according to the auditing procedures. Okay, the last period, that is 1990 to the present scenario, okay, that is till present day. Now, present day auditing has developed into new processes that build on a business risk perspective of their clients. See, present day auditing has developed into what? New processes that build on a business risk perspective will be more for the clients. Okay, presently the ultimate objective of auditing is what? To lend creditability to financial and non-financial information provided by management in annual reports. Okay, so presently what is the objective of main auditing is to verify the true and fair view of the financial statement, okay, and to check whether they have prepared according to the accounting rules or not, that is to examine accounting books, then verify the financial statements, detection and prevention of errors, and detection and prevention of frauds. Along with that, they provide what? As advisory services to the client. Hence, there was no need for the business managers, hence high level of litigation and criticism against the auditors observed. Okay, so this is regarding evolution of auditing, or you can say the origin or the history of the auditing. The remaining parts we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.